What's up, guys? So, the Oscars came and went, and I wanted to talk about it. Now, I wanted to start by saying that, in my opinion, despite a few disagreements here and there, I believe that the Oscars were decent this year. Could have could have it been better? Of course, but compared to the last couple of years, honestly, this year was fairly surprising for me. Um, I mean, never in my wildest dreams did I believe that Parasite was gonna win 4 Oscars. Like, I knew it had best international film in the bag, but I never expected it to get best director and best picture. Like, original screenplay, I could have imagined it because the screenplay was actually like amazing. But yeah, that to me was the most surprising. I still am in shock, but I had a prediction. Like, not that I wanted this to happen, but my prediction was that 1917 was going to win most of the Oscars. Again, not because I wanted that to happen. It's mainly because, I don't know, like, the Oscars, the Academy has always had a hard on for period pieces, and 1917 fit the script of the kind of movies that they always go for during the Oscars. But surprisingly, it only won like 2-3 Oscars. That honestly was surprising to me. I could not believe it. But yeah, like always, there's always a few disagreements, and that's one of the things the main thing I wanted to talk about. So I have a list here on my laptop on which movies I think should have won. Oh, over here. Honestly, I think Al Pacino should have won Best Supporting Actor. Now, don't get me wrong. I really loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad Pitt and Al Pacino were amazing together. Their chemistry was undeniable. The film was perfect start to finish. There's really nothing wrong with it. But Brad Pitt's performance alone, in my opinion, is not Oscar worthy. I think Brad Pitt has done far better performances in other films. And compared to the competition, I think Al Pacino should have won the Oscar because Al Pacino's performance was the best in The Irishman. I feel like his performance, not that the movie was falling apart, but his performance was the one that stood out of all of them, in my opinion. And he should have gotten an award for that. I mean, to this day, I've seen this movie so many times in theaters when it came out, and to this day, I still think about all of his monologues as Jimmy Hoffa because they're so funny, memorable, and breathtaking. Like, everything. Like, he does a very good performance, and yeah, he should have won an Oscar for that, in my opinion. Yeah, so I didn't agree with the Best Supporting Actor pick, even though I love Brad Pitt. I love a lot of his movies. In fact, recently I saw Snatch, and his performance there was actually pretty fucking great. Better than in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But yeah, didn't agree with that one. Sorry. Okay. Best cinematography. I honestly cannot believe that Ad Astra did not win that one. Ad Astra was snubbed. That movie should have gotten best cinematography. If you didn't like the movie or Brad Pitt's performance in it, one thing that was undeniable about Ad Astra was the visuals. Jesus Christ. I watched that movie on IMAX and it was so worth it. The visuals of that movie was so amazing. Jesus Christ. I cannot believe that one didn't win. Ad Astra. I mean, best visual effects should have been for Ad Astra. I mean, How didn't it win? I'm kind of confused. How is it that Ad Astra did not win Best Visual Effects? Like, seriously. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, 1917 is a good movie. I'm not saying that it's a bad movie at all, but the camera work in that movie was good. So I understand why it was nominated for Best Cinematography and for visual effects. I also understand why it was nominated. But when you compare it to Ad Astra, that movie should have won both of those nominations. I'm sorry, Ad Astra visually was perfect. It had amazing cinematography and amazing visual effects. That's non-debatable. I'm sorry. Yeah, and Ad Astra wasn't even nominated. That's one thing that kind of upset me. Yeah, I think I have the list here. Let me confirm that. Best. I'm trying to confirm the nominations. Best cinematography. It wasn't even nominated for that. It should have been nominated and it should have won. Best visual effects. Wasn't nominated either. Why? It should have been nominated for that. Jesus Christ. I can't believe it. Okay, anyway, Best Actress. Now, I'm not gonna how do I say this? I'm not gonna go that hard on that nomination because I gotta be honest. Not that. Okay, it's just that. How do I say this? I forgot the name of the actress. Renee Zellweger. I'm not saying Renee Zellweger is a bad actress. She's a good actress, but she did not deserve that Oscar win, in my opinion, because there are two performances that were far better than hers that weren't even nominated, and those were Lupita. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but yeah, Lupita should have won. I mean, should have been nominated for her performance in Us. I do not understand why she wasn't nominated for that performance. Well, I understand why, but I'll say it. But I'll say it after this. And also, another performance that should have been nominated was Florence's performance in Midsummer. I mean, her performance was good in Little Women. Don't get me wrong, but her performance as a leading actress in Midsummer was fucking great. If you didn't see Midsummer, you should watch it. And when you consider the fact that the Oscars ignored that performance this year, you'll be pissed. Those are two performances that should have gotten a nomination, and I'll tell you why they didn't get a nomination. And it wasn't because Lupita's race or because Florence is a woman. It wasn't because of any of that. The reason why those performances were ignored were either because the studios didn't campaign for them, or because of the fact that the Academy has a hatred for horror movies. That's just facts. The Academy has always had a thing for horror movies. They rarely get nominated. In fact, the only reason Get Out got nominated was because the cultural impact that movie had was so undeniable that even the Academy couldn't ignore it. And also because Get Out wasn't just full on horror; it had other elements, other subgenres as well. But that's the thing. I mean, when you consider when you think of horror, what movie do you think about? The Shining, for example. When The Shining came out, that movie wasn't nominated for anything except Razzies. critics hated that movie, and yet you see these edits or these commercials that the Oscars do, and they mention The Shining as if they acknowledged The Shining when the movie was out. They didn't. The Oscars have always ignored horror movies. Always. Why? I don't fucking know. But that's the truth. They hate horror films. They just do. They just do. It's like they see it as a low form of entertainment. It's like they think horror is beneath them for some reason. So yeah, I went on a rant about that, but it's true, man. It's true. Yeah, those are the only complaints I had. It's just a few of them, because those are just like my gripes with the Oscars, but it was mostly decent. I would give, like, this year the Oscars was a solid B. I give it a B minus. Could have been an A, but they still passed. But this is gonna sound weird. But like I said, I really thought the Oscars was gonna snub a lot of good movies this year, and they were gonna only acknowledge, predictable movies like 1917 or Ford v Ferrari as well. So the fact that Parasite got a lot of awards is still surprising. And this is also gonna sound strange, but I really thought Joaquin Phoenix was gonna get snubbed. I really did. I know it sounds stupid because he's clearly the best performance out of all of the nominees, but I don't know. The movie, Joker, when it came out, it had so much hate. I mean, it wasn't, more hate than, love. Like, I would say it was like this. Like, it was almost equal. The amount of hate the movie got was so bizarre. And I really thought that hate that it got was going to pressure the Academy to not let him win. I don't know. So, yeah, I really thought they were going to snub him. But the fact that he won was so exciting. To me, that was like the win that got me, screaming, going crazy, because I really believed he was going to lose the I thought he was going to get snubbed, in other words. And yeah, but man, but when I saw Bong Joon-Ho like constantly going up not the podium, going on stage to accept his award, I honestly, I don't know the guy, but seeing him smiling like that, like made me feel so proud of him. And the part when he was like looking at his Oscar like this, and he was smiling, like, damn, that was pure. I honestly can't get over that. I'm so glad he won, because Parasite was so good. But yeah, that's essentially my take on the Oscars. Let me just close this laptop here. So anyways, like always, like and subscribe. Please share this video. All of my information will be in the link down below. My Letterboxd, my Twitter. I changed my Twitter recently. I deleted my old Twitter account. Now, instead of just NadaFilms_, my username is Nada_Films. It'll be in the description below, the link. So if you want to follow me there, yeah.
Take 'em to the chorus. Come here, girl. Go ahead, be gone with it. Come to the back. Go ahead, be gone with it. VIP. Go ahead, be gone with it. Drinks on me. Go ahead, be gone with it. What you twerking with?